Hi, my friends. I have been thinking a lot about what direction I want my life to go in, and my coach, Sam Laura Brown, is someone who I really admire. She works 3 days a week on her online coaching business, and she has 4 children and makes plenty of time for them. And one thing that she did years ago when I started following her in 2017 was she started a YouTube channel. She was scared to death, and I'm feeling pretty uncomfortable also. It's very strange talking to yourself on camera, but it definitely grows you. And part of the reason she did it was for personal development as well. So I'm just gonna give it a shot. And I was thinking, like, what would I talk about? What do I like talking about? What could I talk about and share my perspective and my journey? And right now, what I'm doing with my brother in a small group is reading the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And I have read this will be my 3rd time reading this book, and it has really been very impactful in my life. I've made leaps and bounds towards where I want to be eventually because of this book. And so I was just thinking, well, maybe I could just talk about like how I apply it and what I'm learning in each chapter. The first time I read it, my parents forced us to have family reading nights on Mondays. And at first we all grumbled about it, but then we really enjoyed it. It was fun. We had really great conversations, and we were working on our goals, and like my mind was just expanded exponentially. I made like a vision folder, and I would look at it all the time. I remember I would write myself checks for $1 million, and also I always wanted a candy apple red Lamborghini, just so extra, but I thought it was so cool. I no longer want that, but it was really fun to dream and just think about that. And it was just really eye-opening to go through that book. I was in high school, and for a lot of people, most people, I would say high school is really pivotal regarding the trajectory of your life. And so I'm really grateful to my parents for making us sit down and read together. And then the second time I read it, I was in college, so probably like 4 or 5 years later, I started reading it again, and I got so into it. I got my roommates into it. We all made lists, like our bucket lists, and we all started doing things. We all went to New York together, which was on a couple of our lists. And I ran a half marathon, which I never thought that I could ever do. And I don't identify as a runner, but for some reason I was like, yep, I'm gonna write that down. And then that week I signed up for one. 6 months later, no, I signed up in October, November, December, January. And the half marathon was in January, which was just 3 months away. So, and I wasn't running, I wasn't exercising, I wasn't doing anything except for eating Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. So it was really quite a leap, but I did it. I started going to the gym. I was running, and I was always so excited whenever we would go out for burgers. I could finish a whole burger because I was so hungry. And before that, I just couldn't. I was a small eater. And I ran the half marathon, and it was huge for like my self-image and my self-confidence, and it was something that I never ever thought I could do. So that was awesome. And so I was reading that book again and starting to think about career and where I wanted to go. And so that was a really important book during my college years too. And now, gosh, I don't even know how long ago that was, and I'm not going to mention it, but now I'm in a very different stage of life, and my brother was like, hey guys, do you want to read this together? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Because I'm in a different stage of life and things change. So it's been a great reminder. It's been really fun. I'm on chapter 28 right now, but I am going to just start over and talk about it in these videos. I think it's helpful to have a direction for videos, because otherwise I absolutely would not know what to say. So I just thought I would start with this. The introduction kind of talks about, there's one quote in it that says, you can't hire someone to do your push-ups for you, which I would absolutely love to hire somebody to do my push-ups for me. But just like that half marathon, like I couldn't hire someone to run for me. I had to be the one to train and do it. And so that's kind of the first part of taking ownership when reading this book. Like, you can read all these principles, but nobody's going to do it for you. It's going to be you. And then the first chapter is taking 100% responsibility for your life. And what that looks like for me right now, I'm choosing to be in the job that I'm in. I'm choosing to live where I live. I'm choosing to be in the circumstances that I'm in. And that doesn't mean that, bad things can happen to us, or all kinds of things. We live in a broken world. But the way that I respond to those things is 100% up to me. And so, for example, I am not really a fan of the state that I'm living in right now. And that's okay, but I'm choosing to be with my family. And there's a reason we're here. And that's my choice. And so instead of grumbling about living here, I'm acknowledging that it's my choice. I can absolutely move away, but then I wouldn't be with my family. And so just recognizing that the choices that I've made are fully in my hands, and I've chosen to live here. I've chosen to work where I work. I've chosen to read this book and apply things and not apply things. I choose what I eat, and I choose what I do. And so just taking 100% responsibility of our thoughts and our actions, and not blaming everyone or everything that happens around us. It's almost like not living in a victim mentality. When we're in a victim mentality, everything happens to us. We're helpless. We have no say in things, and there's only one way to respond, and there's no way to change it. And in chapter 1, he just talks about how that's really not true. You can have whatever circumstance, but your thoughts will create the result and the feelings that you have in that circumstance. So I think that's basically the first chapter and my thoughts on it. I'm sure there's a lot more that I've thought on it, especially while reading, but right now that's what I have. And I think this is really nerve-wracking for me to record videos. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like breathing heavy. And so we'll see. But I'm excited to keep reading this book. It's really life-changing, and I highly recommend giving it a read. I used to have all kinds of tabs in here, but they all came out this year, and now I need to make new ones. So, anyways, hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.